All right, what's up, guys? Good evening. Let's let's take a look at Bitcoin. So if you guys can, if you're hearing any problems with the audio or the picture or anything, just type it in the chat or tag me in the Discord. And also, if you guys have any altcoin shorting requests or Bitcoin questions or anything like that, anything trading related questions or whatever, it's Friday night, so ask me anything, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start off by looking at Bitcoin. Let's actually start off by looking at Bitcoin on the monthly. Let's remove everything here. Just take a look at the price action here. So here we go. Bitcoin on the monthly, right? So I mean, it's not looking very good, to be honest. But I think the weekly chart is the most obvious here. Looking at the monthly, we have pretty interesting level here around 7.8. Let's look at the weekly, how it looks back down at 7.8. Yeah, so we have this cluster here between 8.3 and 7.8-ish. And if we lose this current area we're at right now, I'll show you that it's at right at the EQ of the daily range. So if we lose this area right here, just looking at purely price action, we have first we have 8.2 and after that 7.8. So all right, so let's just put on the drawing tools here. So the range I was talking about on a daily here, well, not on the daily, it's the weekly, but I've got it covered on the daily chart. I think it looks pretty clean on the daily here. We have this, I'm using the high of this week here, this October candle here as the range high, and basically where we bounce down here as the range low. We are right now with this current dump here. You see the dotted lines here are the EQ of this range. So we bounced off the EQ here. I actually entered a short right here, and I'll explain quickly my plan for doing so. Let's put on the moving averages here. I need to update these lines a little bit. So here we got the 200 simple right here, and let's see where we have the 21 EMA on the weekly. So as you can see, I like to have these drawn out on as horizontal lines, just to get a better picture of where the moving averages are when I'm looking at different time frames, right? So right now I got the 21 EMA here, but if I zoom into daily, I won't really find the 21 EMA. So it's nice to see it as an horizontal here. And as you can see, we still have the confluence between the 200 simple and the 21 EMA on the weekly. The whole plan here was to see if, first of all, this green zone here, I got marked out as an important support area. And if we zoom out here, you should see why I like this area, right? It's historically a very important level. So when we dumped here, I wanted to see for bullish, like for a bullish scenario, I wanted to see basically this, right? Started reclaiming this area, closing, an open and daily above here, and then long a retest for a move up to the monthly open right here. We didn't get that. We got rejected by the upper part of this support, and we are now trading downwards. So for the bullish scenario, I was looking to long the retest after a daily open and close above here. For the bearish scenario, I was looking for a daily open and close below this green box, and the 200 simple on the daily and the 21 EMA on the weekly, just like we got with this candle right here. So when we got that candle here, that was my my short entry, right? And what I did was the plan was to layer bids, 3 bids, one at 8,718 and one at 8. Yeah, you can just see the numbers right here. I don't have to read it up loudly for you, right? And what happened here was we just tapped the first order here. I've still got these active, so I'm waiting for price to come up, but I'm not really sure we're gonna see a retest again. But if we do, I'll fill my shorts up here. Right now I'm in good profit on this one, so I could take to be honest, looking at this right now, it kind of looks like if we clear this level right here with, let's say, a 4 hour close below, we are probably going lower, right? But as long as we stay above this area, we might actually target this zone up here for another retest. So what I'm thinking is I should probably take some profits on this trade right here. Yeah, so I'm after the stream I'm probably gonna take like 25% off here, and if we come into support again, I might, depending on how price action looks at the time, I might actually add those 25% again. So to be honest, I'm kind of deviating from my plan here, but yeah, I need to make a proper plan here. So, but the plan was, at first, if we break to the downside, I'm gonna long a bearish retest. So the thing is, like, I like to trade off the daily candles, so I'm gonna base much of my decisions on where this daily candle closes. If this daily candle closes, and if you're not in a trade like this, that might be like, obviously I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but that might be an interesting opportunity to enter a short on the retest of this area, to be honest. So that's my trade on Bitcoin right now. Looking at the higher time frames right now, it's looking, you know what, let's remove this one. It's just in the way right now. So looking at the high time frames, looking at the weekly, not the most beautiful bullish chart, to be honest. We did lose the 21 EMA on the weekly here, so if we close this weekly down here, that would be bearish, obviously. But if we close the weekly below this this range EQ, that would be obviously super bearish for me, and I would look for hopefully some kind of consolidation inside this gray box right here. Let's move that one to the right. So if we start trading downwards, I'm seeing some nice confidence with the green 55 exponential here, right in the middle of this gray box I got marked out here. So the way I see it right now, if we close the daily down here, I would not be surprised to see a retest of the 21 EMA, maybe a wick into this green support up here, and then continue down to hit this 55, this green 55 exponential right here. So that's what I'm watching on Bitcoin right now. This area really needs to hold as support. Otherwise we got the 7.3, 7.4 area. So I'd like to see some bullish action on the lower time frames. next week, right? And let's look at the daily again. So we did actually lose the 200 simple with this daily candle we're printing right now. So if we close this daily candle here, we have the first daily candle close below the 200 simple. Well, you could say that this was a candle close below, but it's so close, so I would rather call this a bounce, right? So for me, this would be a confirmed break of the 200 simple after reclaiming it and breaking above here back in January, the end of January, about exactly a month ago. So pretty simple analysis on Bitcoin, to be honest. Like I like to take it one level at a time. So I'm looking at the chart and I'm thinking, well, we lost this area, we lost the 200 simple on the daily and the 21 EMA on the weekly. So where is the next level? Where the next level is the EQ here. We have an area like the high of this wick. This candle closes here, and this level here. So the area between this high and this low, it would make sense to see a bounce here, or maybe see some consolidation here, some ranging here for a couple of days, and it kind of lines up nicely with how the altcoin market dominance are looking right now. Like it's right at support, and I'm thinking if Bitcoin breaks down here and start ranging either inside this area where we're at right now, between the range EQ and 21 EMA on a daily, the 200 simple on a daily. If we range between here, I think we'll see some very nice altcoin action going into next week. Or if we break down, I'm gonna watch for Bitcoin to range here. So right now I'm not buying Bitcoin, right? I want to see clear strength before I buy anything here. I mean, if you look at the weekly, this isn't really... What's up, Tyler Durden? What's up? Hey. Alright, so on the weekly, this is not really what I would call, for me personally, this is not a buying opportunity. I don't like this kind of price action. Just like I didn't buy here, I bought up here, right? So what I wanted to see was when we were trading back here. Obviously I got fucked on that trade and stopped out and right before the China pump, but the idea was to... I don't really want to buy when something is going down. I want to buy when I'm seeing a potential market, a break in market structure on the lower time frames. So let's zoom in here on the lower time frames to see what happened here. The 23rd of September, I think it was. Yeah, 23rd of September, around this area. All right, so here we go. So what we were seeing... Do I expect high volatility on the weekend close? And what is your target on that? All right, so the weekly close, I usually don't trade on weekends because I guess you're referring to the weekly close on Sunday and not the CME close, which should have already closed or closed soon. Anyway, so I'm not really trading on much on weekends, to be honest, because volatility could be, is most of the times greater on the weekends, and you get those kind of you get more unpredictable price action on weekends. And for me, it's harder to trade on weekends because The price isn't really following my TA the way I want basically on weekends. It's just more riskier to trade on weekends. You get weirder moves basically, and weirder price action. And am I expecting high volatility? Probably yes. And my target on that, well, like doesn't really matter if it's the weekly close or if it's in the, oh, sorry about that, if it's the weekly close or if it's in the middle of the week. Like, my targets are going to be the same, right? If we are going down, my target is going to be the next support below current price. If we are going up, my next target is going to be the closest resistance above price, right? So that's how I'm trading, right? If I'm long, I'm gonna take profit at the next resistance. If I'm short, I'm gonna take profit at the next support. On Bitcoin, I'm not really a high time frame trader. I trade like most of my trades, I'm in for a day or two, at most a week. I mean, it all depends on how long Bitcoin is ranging, right? So if, like, I remember yesterday or the day before, it's at 26, so 2 days ago I shorted the monthly open here and took profits down here. So my trade looks something like this, with an average entry here. I think my stop loss was here and my take profits in this area, right? So the whole idea here was to I had my bids layered in this area. Obviously only one of my bid got filled, but what I'm saying is, like, no matter which way price is going, I'm gonna try to jump on the trend. And what I was seeing here was a clear shift in market structure, right? We were trading upwards, creating higher lows like this, right? We got a low, we got a higher low, a higher low, a high, a higher high, a higher high, a higher high. But here we start seeing lower low and lower low. So a shift in trend, right? A bearish break in market structure. That's when I knew that I wanted to jump on the trend, right? But I didn't want to short up here in this green zone because I didn't want to short support, right? I'm going to short resistance. So I'm going to wait for support to turn into resistance. And what you get, so what I was waiting for was for price to break down here, and I wanted to see a 4-hour open and close below support. Here we had that 4-hour open and close right here. This candle here was my 4-hour open and close below. Basically, well, to be honest, it was this one, the third one here, because this one had its wick right up here. So when I saw this, I was thinking, like, all right, so I want to short this area. I want to short the potential bearish retest of this area, because we are probably going down. The daily trend is down, right? So I want to be short. And we then broke below the monthly open, and we never got the retest of this area. So I thought, well, when we're trading down here, I thought, well, I need to at least layer some bids in here to average into a short. So I layered some bids in here, thinking the 21 EMA on a daily and the monthly open would probably have been good areas to enter. And I got filled here. I took profits here, and I exited everything here. Obviously a little bit too early, because I could have doubled the profits down here. But that's, like, when you're in profit, you gotta take profits, right? Because you never know if you're gonna bounce on support. So for me, I think it's better to just, like I said, take it level by level. Just like I took profits here, and I'm just gonna repeat this trade right here. So I'm gonna move my bids down here, somewhere in this area, right? That's my average entry right there, right? My stop should probably be above this wick right here on the 4 hour and take profits. I would think this right here would be a good area to take some profits. So I'm gonna be looking at something like this, right? And like I said before, I showed you guys my setup earlier in the beginning of the stream. I've actually got filled on 33% of my position here, and like I said, I'm gonna exit 25% and maybe enter everything again up here, depending on how price action looks in the lower time frames right here. But right now it's super bearish. I mean, it's going down, and I don't really see it stopping until we get a shift in market structure on the lower time frames, just like we got up here. That's a shift in market structure by creating lower highs and lower lows from basically going from an uptrend to a downtrend. So to what would I need to see for me to become bullish? Well, I would need to see higher lows and higher highs, right? So we need to see on the 1 hour, we need to see price reclaim first of all the 200 simple on the daily and the 21 EMA on the weekly. We then need to see a bounce of those two to reclaim this area. This would mean we have a shift in market structure on the lower time frames, and that's when I'm ready to go long. Right now, I'm only looking for shorts. I'm not going to try to time the bottom. I'm not really interested in trying to catch a knife. I'm just interested in buying strengths. So as long as I'm seeing bearish market structure, I'm going to stay in USDT, and I am going to short Bitcoin. Now, like I said, the altcoin market could potentially have one more alt window next week if Bitcoin allows it for it, right? So we had some nice ranging action here for a couple of days, right? I would love to see this type of price action either down here, like I said before, below the range EQ and the 21 EM in the weekly here, or if we break down, I'd like to see some ranging between this area and this, and that's gonna be our alt window, right? Bitcoin ranging or slowly going up. Interestingly enough, in 2020 we've seen like a pretty nice direct correlation between Bitcoin and alts. Usually when Bitcoin were going up this year, alts were also going up. If that price action could, if that correlation could continue, we might see some nice alt action if Bitcoin reclaims this area and starts ranging above here, because that would mean that Bitcoin starts ranging after bullish market structure, and in my opinion that would be like the ideal situation for alts to outperform. Oh wow, that's my big face, sorry about that. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Let's see, I got another question here. Well, I can't really answer that. Is this a bots game? Well, no, it's not a bot. I'm not a bot, and I'm pretty sure you're not a bot. And in my opinion, this is not a bot game at all. And I can't answer that. I mean, I'm not a macro trader at all. I don't really care about the macroeconomics. I'm just interested in making money, and making money by trading Bitcoin and alts on the medium to low time frames. So I don't really care if this is a bot game or if we're waiting for the institutional money, or if we need more retail people. Like I'm gonna short Bitcoin if it goes down. I'm gonna long Bitcoin if it goes up. I'm gonna make money either way Bitcoin goes, right? So it's all about protecting your capital, right? All right, so if you guys don't have any altcoin requests, I think I think I've covered everything on Bitcoin actually. But so let's just go over the high time frames again. So if the bullish scenario, right? We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got about 3 days left on this weekly candle, right? Well, actually 2 days. 2 days and 6 hours. So not even close to 3 days. So we got 2 days left on this weekly candle. If in 2 days we can close this weekly candle above here, that would be very bullish in my opinion. If we close below, that would be bearish. I'm looking for a move lower. How low? I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, we shouldn't see Bitcoin lower than 6.5. Like if we actually break 6.5, that would be really bad. But we're far away from 6.5. But like, where's the highest probability of a bounce? Well, I'm gonna show you the RLC, right? So where's the RLC? The RLC is right here. So in my opinion, the highest probability of a bounce is right in the middle of the RLC here, which also comes in pretty nicely right on top of this green box I got marked out here. So I'm really liking the RLC here. I think I'm definitely gonna be a buyer here on the inside this RLC. The best thing to see inside the RLC is like a bullish market structure, like a W here on the lower time frames, and then a breakout and a retest. I would love to get in a long order on that retest. Now, let me show you why I like buying the RLC, right? Because the RLC of this move right here, the long RLC captured the bottom perfectly and the short RLC captured the top perfectly of this move. Now let's see, where do we have the RLC of this move right here? Yeah, so it's for me this makes total sense, right? To get a retest down here makes absolute sense. So I think we might see like 7.5k. That's a 10% drop from current prices, so absolutely doable. I'm really liking this actually. You have the RLC here confluent with the upper part of this last RLC here. So yeah, I'm really liking this idea here, and maybe actually is that confluent with my take profit? Not really. Let's see where we have the moving averages on the daily. Alright, so we got the 200 EMA here too. And that's obviously a level to watch too, but I'm on Bitcoin, I think the 200 simple is more interesting to watch than the 200 EMA actually. Let's just mark this level out here. 200 SMA on a daily. That's 8759. Right, so let's say you short this area. Stop below that area here. Take profit. Yeah, actually I'm probably gonna try something like this. I really like that setup, to be honest. I'm probably gonna try something like that. Yeah. Close the weekly below the 21 EMA, and I'm gonna short the retest of the 21 EMA, targeting the long RLC of this whole move right here. So yeah, that's it's very nice. I'm liking this. probably gonna take partial profits on the 55 exponential and then wait for a move down to so weak. So take partial profits on the 55 exponential here on the weekly, and then take some profits on this blue. I think it's the 99 exponential, right? If I'm not, yeah, 89. Why have I got the 89? It should be the 99. All right, so it's down here. Yeah, depending on where the 99 exponential is. No, never mind. I'm gonna take profits up here. I like the RLC. So yeah, I really like this setup, to be honest. So patience. This setup isn't really God, I gotta stop hitting this fucking mic. Sorry guys. This setup isn't really valid until we get a weekly close below the 21 EMA. That would be like the perfect scenario, right? Now let's look at the daily. Yeah, like that would be super, right? If we get like, let's see, yeah. So if we get a weekly close below this area, that would also mean we could potentially get one more daily candle here, close the weekly here, and then move up. So that would be our daily open and close. So we have a double confirmation, right? We have a daily open and close below the 21 EMA on the weekly and a 200 simple on the daily, and we also have the weekly close below the 21 EMA on the weekly. So if you're only watching the weekly, right? If you're only watching the weekly and you're only trading off the weekly and the 21 EMA on the weekly, you have a pretty obvious setup here. Pretty obvious setup. And that would be wait for the weekly close below the 21 EMA and then short a retest. Now let's look at the daily. You have a pretty obvious setup here too, right? Wait for a daily open and close below the 200 simple on a daily, and then long a retest, shorter retest, sorry. So that daily obvious setup lines up with the weekly obvious setup. So you have two very good setups, both on the weekly and the daily, by using two different types of moving averages, both on the weekly and the daily, and they both align perfectly right on each other. Actually, I really like this setup. I really do, man. This is what I really love about love. What the fuck? This is what I God, I can't fucking speak. What's wrong with my language? What I'm trying to say is, like, I really like live analysis, right? Because I love to be able to show you guys how I think and how I find my setups live, because you get to, see all the weird stuff, of course, but also like how I'm thinking, how I'm approaching the chart, and how I'm finding the setups, and how I kind of describe the setup for you guys right now made me, like it even more. So let's look at the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour isn't really, we haven't really tested this level, right? But we came damn close, right? So on the 4 hour, like, if the 4 hour looks something like this, we retest, comes down, and then the retest I'm looking for on the daily and the weekly, if that's gonna be the fourth test on the 4 hour, I'm probably not gonna take the trade, right? Because I want to, enter on the first retest, maybe on the second retest on the 4 hour, if the daily and the weekly looks really good, but not on the fourth, not on the third, and absolutely not on the fourth test. Because if the 4 hour looks like this, but we're getting a, you know, nice structure on the daily, we're probably going to break above even if the weekly closes below, right? So that's my thoughts on that. All right, so we've been streaming for 35 minutes. I don't really have much more to say on Bitcoin, I think. Let's go over the chart again with only the moving averages. Let's look at the monthly. 21 EMA on the monthly, obviously a very important level that needs to hold. We broke above here, tested it for the first time here and bounced. The next test is going to be the second retest. I don't really trust that test, even if we had a lot of tests here. All right, so as long as we stay above the 21 EMA on the monthly, I guess I could say like to be honest, that's the we need to stay above. Let's just keep it at that. We need to stay above the 21 EMA on the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. If we reclaim the 21 EMA on the weekly, I'd be bullish. I expect a bounce off the green 55 exponential, but ultimately I expect a move down to 7.5. I actually do. It's pretty far down, but I actually do expect a bounce or a move down to 7 points. Well, I don't expect anything. I'm gonna trade whatever happens. So I don't expect a move up or down. I'm just gonna trade. If you go up, I'm gonna long. If you go down, I'm gonna short, right? Let's look at the daily. And on a daily, really the only thing I'm watching here on the daily is the 200 simple right now. Yeah, reclaim the 200 simple, I'll be bullish. As long as we stay below, I'll be bearish. Expect a bounce of the, I think this is the 377, right? Should be the 377, yeah. So we got a 377 exponential here, or is it the moving averages? That's the simple one. It should be the simple. No, it's the EMA actually. All right, so I do expect a small bounce here, but ultimately I do see price coming down into this area. I would not be surprised to see it, and like I said before, this is the midpoint of the RLC, and I would really like to buy the RLC, right? Okay guys, so I feel like I'm just repeating everything I've just told you. So all right, so I'm just gonna end the stream here, and if you guys like what you're seeing, please consider leaving a like or a subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. All right, so see you guys in the Birb Nest Exclusive Birb Nest Club. Take care, guys.